Garden and Home. It's so good to be with you here today. Could you believe it? It is Wednesday again. Yes. And this is such a good day today. We've had really mild temperatures here in the Northeast. I think it was in the 70s today. So it's been a very beautiful day. I actually went out and I walked around the neighborhood, which is a good thing. I really need to up my walking and exercising because I find myself being in the home a lot and not really in the garden. So there needs to be some way that I get some exercise. Well, the reason why I'm talking about this is because now is the time not to get tired in the garden, but actually to pick up the pace because right now we're in the time of fall where we need to start to do fall cleanup. So, fall gardening activities. The title for this live is Seven Fall Gardening Activities to Make Your Garden Shine Next Spring. 7 fall gardening activities to make your garden shine next spring. And I was reading this article and it said to make your garden sing. Well, yeah, you want the garden to sing, but also when the sun is shining, you want it to hit at the right spot on the beauty of the garden. And in my garden, the sun when it rises in the morning, it just shines on the leaves of the different shrubs and perennials and on the flowers, and my garden just sparkles. So if you have not looked at some of my gardening tours, check it out and you'll see what I mean by in the morning the garden shines and sparkles. Yes, it does, and it makes me so happy. That's really when I enjoy my garden the most, is in the morning, early in the morning, right after the sun has risen up and it then shines. It rises in the east and sets in the west. When it's risen in the east, in the eastern sky, and it's just shining down on my garden, it just makes me so happy. And it brings a lot of joy. Well, good afternoon if you're here in the Northeast or in this section Eastern Standard Time. Good afternoon. If you are in another part of the world, I also should say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some who are watching me from whatever part of the world that you are in. And it's so good to see you here with me at Catherine's Garden and Home. And before we go any further, if you have not subscribed to Catherine's Garden and Home, now is a good time to hit that subscribe button. And then if you like being with me here during these lives and learning and sharing and time when we just chat and have fun, then hit the like button as well. And if you're listening to it through the replay, make sure that you leave a comment and let me know that you stopped by and that you've enjoyed our little chat here on Wednesdays. So I do try to come every Wednesday around 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and just have a conversation with you, my wonderful gardening friends. And I'm at the point where you're past friendship, you are my family. Yes. So many of you that come and join me, I feel like if you are a part of the family, that you're a distant cousin, or you're some friend, my sister from another mother, my brother from another mother. So it's so good to have you here with me at Catherine's Garden and Home. Don't be afraid to come into the chat and say hello, and let's have a conversation and have some fun this beautiful evening out here in the garden. And I might have to up the time to p.m. instead of 5:30 because it's starting to get dark quicker, and also the sun is setting sooner in the sky. So we really have to soak in this time and just really enjoy the outdoors now while we can. So, yeah, come on in the chat and say hello. Don't let me feel like I'm talking to myself. Yes, and then let us also share with one another how our day has been going. How's your day been? I hope that it has been a good day for you. It has been a very good day, a very productive day for me, and I've really enjoyed it. Now, some of the things I wanted to show you was my fig jam. Yes, I just put up a video of me making the fig jam. Remember last week talked about the figs and the fig tree and the fig jam, figs and what to do with it. And Deborah Thomas, she gave a suggestion on how to make fig jam. And I am so excited because I did pretty much follow her description of how to prepare it, and it is so delicious. It's great because my figs were getting very soft, and I felt that it was I would have to throw them out. So I was able to catch it before that and actually prepare the figs and make the fig jelly or fig jam, however you want to call it. Um, and it is delicious on bread and toast. Croissant from I had a croissant from Costco. I don't know if you've shopped at Costco's, but they have these croissants. Yeah. So I heated it up and I spread on it some of the fig jelly and had it, and it was so delicious. It was almost like a dessert versus just having something like a um, breakfast food. It felt more like dessert. It was so sweet and good. But anyway, so I just wanted to thank her for that. Hopefully she'll come on today and I'll be able to thank her here in the chat. The other thing I wanted to talk about too is I'm still harvesting a lot of my winter squash, and it seems like this is very much the time to start collecting your winter squash, and I've been finding them all throughout the garden. As you know, I don't plant conventionally rows and sections like that, but with the squash, because it's viney, I put it in different sections of the garden and allow the plant to trail. So it's almost like following the trail of the vine and finding the different squash-like viney plants, the fruit in different parts of the garden. Like, for example, the pumpkin here, I found it in the front garden. That squash, the butternut squash, the this patty pan was found in the shrubs at the top and the front, and this one as well. So there's still some more to be found because as the leaves die back and we start to clean up the garden, we will find them. And because they have a nice tough, shell, and it's not soft, you can't really dig into it, they'll be able to store um, for a while. And we'll have pumpkin and squash all the way up into February if it lasts that long. So it's exciting. I really do love to plant the winter squash because it gives you a taste of summer during those cold winter days when you just want to eat stews and soups and things like that. And we end up doing a lot of baking. And on that note, while I was walking through our grocery store, I saw this uh, this booklet, and in it are different recipes that you and I could put together to just change things up a bit, and it's for free. They have it there. You could just take one. And a lot of the produce I am growing in my garden. So getting ideas from the supermarket here on how to really utilize the um, the different squash and the different produce in more and exciting ways. Like for instance, right here it says, curl up with a mug of tomato soup. Well, we can make our own soup with our tomatoes and things. And then it shows you different things that you can make. Like this is with a sweet potato. If you grew a sweet potato in your garden, this is one of the things that you can make. It says a Hasselback sweet potato with bunion, bunions and maple butter. And I should put on my glasses so I can see better. Here, then they give you the recipe for the classic beef stew with carrots. So if you don't know how to cook, you can get a um, free recipes here from the supermarket. Yeah, we have over here in the Boston area, we have what is called Stop and Shop. And I know that there are similar, um, large grocery stores, and probably many of them provide some kind of magazine or booklet with recipes and things in it for the season. And this one is for October and November 2021. So in it, it gives different recipes and things that you can do to cook your vegetables. Now, they're expecting you to go into the supermarket and buy the vegetables, but if you've grown them in your garden, then all you have to do is, cook. Hey, Sonia. Hello, Miss Catherine. It's good to see you today. Yeah, so good to see you also. Thank you for coming on. I do appreciate your presence, and thank you for coming in the chat. Yeah, it's so good. I was just, I don't know how long you've been on, but I was showing the jam. And I know that you've already watched the video. Thank you so much of me putting together the jam. Yeah, my fig jam. And Deborah, Deborah who comes on, our friend Deborah, she gave me a little recipe or an idea of what to do with the figs that I was talking about or showing you last week. And so I also looked at a couple of, oh yes, it looks so good. Yes. I look, hi, hey Kimmy, you following me. It's so good to have you too. How you doing, my girl? I'm blessed. I've been walking through the blessings from this morning into now. I've just been walking in the blessings and getting a lot done. Yeah, so it's so good to have you back here where we can just relax. Yeah, say hello to Sonia. Sonia, meet Kimmy. She's excused me there, and I'll have to view the fig video. Yeah, you do. And it was really good. This is my first time really making fig jam because this is the first time that my fig tree has bloomed and has produced so many figs that I had to couldn't I was eating them regularly. My husband was eating them too. Even my daughter started eating some of the figs. But there was just so much on the tree that I started gathering them and putting them in the refrigerator, and then it was just piling up. And I didn't want them to spoil because they're really sweet. And so Deborah, who comes on too, she gave a suggestion on how to go about cooking them and creating a fig jam or jelly. And so it just so happened that my daughter was doing something with these containers. So I have the container that makes it look so cute and official. But it's nice to have. And it's exciting because now I'm experimenting. I'm thinking of ways of experimenting with the jam to make different cookies and adding it to different other desserts, So that's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. But I was saying that if you go into the supermarket, I went into Stop and Shop. That's our large supermarket here, and they have these free magazines filled with recipes, with things describing different food or produce that's in season now, and giving you ways to cook them, or to provide them, prepare them for your family members. And one of the things they talk about here, the cover just says tomato soup. And if you're a gardener and you have a lot of tomatoes, well, create that tomato soup, with your tomatoes. And if you grew sweet potato, I've never seen this before, to do the sweet potatoes like that. And it's called Hasselback sweet potatoes with bunions, and maple butter. Yeah, and then of course the classic beef stew. So if you're trying to learn how to cook and you want some free recipes, look, check out your supermarket when you go through. See if they have these magazines. I used to walk by and ignore them, but now I started picking them up because I'm cooking now. I have my food, and look at my table here, filled with all of my different produce. Could you imagine when you go to the supermarket, you have to buy a butternut squash, and that butternut squash has been sitting there in the supermarket for days on end, and you don't even know where it's come from. Yeah, it is delicious. Yeah. So here, my butternut squash, right from my garden. It looks like a real butternut squash, huh? Because it is. It's straight from my garden. And this, of course, the patty pan. I've been enjoying that. And a pumpkin. I just found that pumpkin in my garden there. So it's good to grow your own food, and then don't let it go to waste. Eat it. Go from garden to table. And so this has really inspired me with that. I'm going from garden to table. And excuse me. They have different things here. Like this is a recipe here that anybody can do. You could do this. It's not a hard recipe. This is a spicy butternut squash and kale stew with peanuts. Now, I've grown kale in my garden. I have the butternut. So all I have to do is follow the recipe. Let's see, recipe page 14. And I never thought about putting peanuts in my stew. That just seems so different. Let's see, page 14. 14. Okay, so I'm gonna see, and they provide you with the recipe. Deborah's there. Hi, Deborah. Deborah, I've been talking about you. Yes, how you've helped me. I made it. The fig jam or jelly. Yes, I followed your recipe and put it together. I didn't use as much sugar though. I didn't do half and half with the measurement, because my figs were so sweet and they were oozing with sugar. So I used a little bit of honey. Yeah, ooh, looks good. Yes, and I just did a video of it too, so you could see what I did. But thank you for the inspiration. I also looked up, I did view a couple of YouTube videos, 2 other YouTube videos, but yours was the most simplest, so I followed what you said. Thank you so much. I feel accomplished, Deborah. Yes, I do. All right, so the spicy butternut squash and kale stew with peanuts. It doesn't seem so hard. You need a butternut squash, olive oil, onions, garlic, minced, fresh ginger, peeled and grated. Cayenne pepper is optional. Low sodium vegetable broth. Kale, They have light coconut milk. That's different. Creamy peanut butter, roasted peanuts, and finely chopped. I've never thought about putting peanut butter though with kale and squash, butternut squash. But that's something new to discover. And as I said, you can get this right at the supermarket. And then they have this one here, spinach and artichoke chicken stew. Well, I haven't grown artichokes, so that wouldn't work for me. But even lasagna soup. Have you ever thought about using lasagna in soup? And broccoli, if you grew broccoli in your garden, you could do that with broccoli. But yeah, they give some really great ideas. Is that an African recipe? I don't know. I found it in this magazine. I was going to the supermarket. We have what is called Stop and Shop here in the Boston area. Is that wow? Lasagna soup. Never heard. Sounds good though. Yeah, I never heard of lasagna soup either, but it's in here. So they give good information, and you could try it out. I like this one, cranberry orange chutney. That sounds good, that you can make it from scratch. And here's another one, make ahead boysen mashed potatoes. I think that one has cheese, putting cheese in your mashed potato. Hi, Pebbles, how are you? Deborah, I was wondering the same because of the use of peanuts. Yeah. Wow, lasagna soup. Never heard of. Sounds good. Hi, Miss Catherine. I love you. I love you too, Pebbles. How you doing? I hope all is well with you. Lasagna dip is delicious too. Lasagna dip? I've never heard of that. Yeah. So all of this, because it'll make cooking for Thanksgiving different, instead of the same old, same old. This is broccoli and cheese stuffed baked potatoes. So if you grew potatoes, now I didn't grow potatoes, but I know some of you all have grown potatoes. This is some of the things that you could do with your potatoes. And if you grew broccoli, I ferment a lot of my grown veggies. You do? Wow, that's good. That's good. And that's probably very good for gut health, fermenting the veggies. Yeah, so this is a good one. Sheet pan bacon wrap pork tenderloin and pears. I mean, if you eat pork, I'm not really a pork person, so but baking with your chicken, adding your fruits, like your pears and your apples, your veggies on the table are beautiful. Thank you so much, Pebbles. Yeah, they're right from the garden. So one of the things I was just talking about, and this is a continuation from last week's conversation about food and going from garden to table. And look out for these free recipes, and it'll just give you some ideas of what you can do and put in on your table instead of the same old, same old. Like even on the back here, this is the Thanksgiving Day. My daughter is a trained chef, and I love it when it feels like when when she feels like cooking. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's great. You have a chef in the house. That's good. But even this, look at this. This is the turkey dinner. Now, does that look like a regular turkey dinner? There's the turkey, but look at that beautiful salad. And this is the stuffing and the mashed potatoes. Yeah, so just even thinking about the season to come and how can you make your cooking more interesting. Roasted green beans with walnuts and pomegranate seeds. Check that out as a side dish. That's a lot more healthier, I would say. I have a whole lot of string beans. My church, they were giving away string beans. They had a farmer's market. So I have all of the string beans and veggies in my. Where's the mac and cheese? Making me hungry. Mac and cheese. Okay. I'll see if I can find. Okay, this is. I don't know if this is close. Chilaquiles, a traditional Mexican breakfast. Tortilla chips simmered in chili sauce until the center is soft and the eggs are crisp. I don't know. This might have cheese in it for you. And chili sauce. Anyway, yes, I just wanted to share this. This is one of the things I wanted to share with you all. So check it out. Check it out. And then this is my fig jam. Yeah, Pebbles. Deborah gave me a good little recipe to put to help me to create a fig jam or jelly with my figs that I've grown because I have a fig tree and on it there are a lot of figs and the figs have ripened and so it's been such a wonderful massive harvest that I've been able to eat a lot of them, but I wanted to also preserve them or have another way of keeping them. And so I was able to make the fig jam, and I just want to say thank you to Deborah for sharing with us the recipe. And yeah, this week I've been able to harvest my butternut squash. Today, my husband, he found the patty pan. Now this has been the most delicious squash that I've discovered. And we've been eating this steady because they've been just growing all throughout the garden. And thank you. And it is just so delicious. I love this baked with chicken. It's just so good. And also we have this these are so good. I love figs. Wow, you have a fig tree. I'm sure those figs will be delicious. They are delicious. It's a Bensonhurst fig tree, and it took a while before it started to develop, but now it's at a good size and it's pretty. The winters have been mild, so that it's been able to survive, and it's actually thriving. And that is one of the things with gardening, with plants. You got to find the right location for them. Is that an addition to the one you roasted earlier? Yeah, yeah. This is an addition. And then also a pumpkin. I found a little pumpkin in my. Yeah, I'm gonna be making some pumpkin pie. I also put the pumpkin in the stews too. The patty pan, yeah, the patty pan has been fantastic. This is a new one. He just found this one today. I'm going to look for. Yes. Look for the seeds for the patty pan. I'm trying to save some seeds. Hopefully, I'll be able to save some seeds too. Yeah, and the other thing that I wanted to show you all today too, that is happening, is my ginger. They say pumpkin soup is good too. It is. You convinced me to try winter squash. Yes, try it. And now that we know that your daughter's a chef, she can help you to cook it. It cooks just like butternut squash. It's in the same family as the butternut and the pumpkin and acorn squash. So it's not that different, to cook. But this is what I wanted to show you too. Look at what has happened to my ginger. Remember I was asking you, what do you think this is? And I decided to root it. And this is hydroponic or water method, hydroponic method. And look at that. This ginger is rooting. And look, she doesn't like any kind of squash and will not touch them. What? You're gonna, oh, Somehow you have to make it taste delicious so she could get into it. It's good for you and full of fiber. But look at this. Look at this. It's rooting and it's leafing out. Look at the look at the roots. Isn't that amazing? So now I have to figure out what to do with it next. I just feel like leaving it like this. And when it really starts to full out, then maybe I'll transplant it and put it in a pot with some soil. But right now, I just like looking at it. It's just so unique and different. Isn't that something? That is amazing. 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 Great. Planted in dirt. I think I'm going to put it in dirt eventually, in a pot. Put it in a pot and put it in, get some potting soil and put it in a pot. Um, but for right now, I like just observing the roots. Isn't this amazing? Hello, Gardens Army. How you doing? So good. I finally got all of them. Isn't that beautiful? And she's the one who guessed. Hi. You got all your winter plants in soil. Good for you. Okay, good. Now that puts me back to the topic at hand. So that's all of the show and tell. Gardens on me. So good to have you. Ooh, it's getting a little chilly out here. And I'm going to have, it's getting darker. I'm going to have to up our time to 5 o'clock for our time that we come together. That we come together at 5 versus 5:30 because it's starting to get darker earlier and it's starting to get a little cooler now. I can feel the coolness. It's starting the temperature is dropping, and so if we start, I think we're gonna have to change the time to 5, especially if I'm gonna come outside. And I don't mind coming outside for an hour, so I like it outside here. It's just nice to be in the garden to talk about the garden in the garden. So we'll see, because I think that it's gonna be sundown is coming quicker and sooner, faster and faster. Anyway, this is the topic of today is this: 7 fall gardening activities to make your garden shine next spring. So these are 7 ideas I'm giving you to start working on your garden. And Deborah, you actually started us off very good, in a very good way. And that is to get planting. Yes, plant or a fall planting of new shrubs and perennials. Yes. So you want to get planting. That's one. Number 2 is but actually in my list here, that's not number 1, but I'm going to say that's the first one. But let me start from the beginning on my list so I get all 7 in. So the first thing you want to do is to evaluate your garden. Walk around your garden and take a notebook with you or something to write down notes and evaluate your garden. See what worked. What worked? What's working this year? What was a success? What did you really enjoy about your garden? What plants gave you a lot of joy? And what's happening right now? So do that. And what will you repeat? What in your garden, what plants in your garden do you want to repeat? Or in your containers, for those of you who don't have a big garden, but maybe you have a container garden, you've planted a couple of plants. Well, was it successful? Were you satisfied with it? What could you do better or different? How could you rearrange things? What have you learned from this year so that you can apply it next year? So just do a quick evaluation of your garden and think about plants that you might, if you have a larger garden space and you have plants that are starting to overgrow and become overgrown, then what plants would you like to divide or move to a better location? And where can you use more plants for the season? So now that you've seen things grow at certain places and you see that they're thriving, can you add more? And how can you? Will you buy more seeds? Will you buy, like for example, I think Sonia was the one who said that she's going to look for patty pan seeds now that she's learned about that different type of squash. She's going to grow more squash in her garden. Um, so the second thing you want to do is to, oh, you just reminded me that I have 34 tulip bulbs to plant. I'm going to put them in containers until I rearrange my garden. Yeah, that's good. You're jumping ahead. You're keeping me busy. Yes, yes, Deborah. That's one of the things on my list here. So you evaluate the garden. Number two, remove annuals from containers and landscape. So if you have annuals, that would be like impatiens or petunias, any kind of annuals. Like even here on the deck, I have annuals in my containers here, and I've already started to remove them from the container. It's kind of hard for me to remove some of the other annuals or plants that I'm treating as annuals just yet because they still have color, they still have life, and I haven't experienced the first frost. So I don't mind just leaving them in there until the first frost. Let them die away, and then I will clean out the container. But that's something to think about, and you could start to do that. To take a look, find those containers where the annuals are already starting to die out, and clean out that area. And that way you won't be overwhelmed when they all just die out. You've already started the process. Um, so remove annuals from containers and landscape. That's number two. Number three, fall planting of new shrubs. Sonia, I purchased white and yellow patty pans to try and save the seeds. Oh, that's good. That's good. Remove annuals from containers and landscape. Number three, fall planting, new shrubs and perennials. New shrubs and perennials. Now, you now's a good time also to visit the gardening centers because they have a lot of clearance on different shrubs and perennials. They're moving out really quick, the shrubs and things, because they're making room for Christmas decorations and cleaning out the garden centers. So now's a good time to get yourself some plants on discount and add them to your landscape. Like Miss Deborah, who's been so busy, she's moving quickly through this. Mrs. Deborah is busy planting and adding to her garden. Number four, the fourth thing or activity that you might want to get busy with is planting spring bulbs. And that is what I need to do because I know I had bought those spring bulbs from um, Costco, and I lost some of them because I thought I placed them in a cool location while I was waiting for the weather to change, but some of the tulips started rotting, and so I had to. So I've lost a couple of them. So I truly this week need to get into the garden. Hopefully, I'll be able to make a video of it, and I know, and get some of those tulips in the ground, especially over in the Jewel area. So that's my goal, either for Thursday or Friday, to plant in the tulips up there, and also the daffodils in the back, and get my tulip bulbs in either this week or next week, but no later than that because they're starting to. I don't want them to rot. I'd hate that, you know. So plant spring bulbs. Number five, cut select perennials back. Like, yeah, so my husband, he's been very diligent in cutting back the hostas already. And if you watched any of the most recent videos, you would see that we've already started to cut back the hosta. And the hostas, it's good to cut back the hostas because the um, the slugs, if you don't cut them back, the slugs are going to settle in there. Any place where you see holes, It's good to, yeah, it's pruning time for some of the things. Some of the plants, it's time to really cut back and level. There's some things that, some plants though, that you don't want to prune. Um, you don't want to prune it in the winter. It's best to prune them in the spring, like your fruit trees and things like that. But right now, for hostas, like if you have catnip, things like that, like up in my herbal tea garden area, that's a woolly mess. I need to start pulling out stuff like the tomato plants that that are gone, and cutting back, and soon gonna have to pull up those marigolds too. But yeah, now's the time to trim things back and to cover things up. So that's cut select perennials back. And the other thing is to water your garden. Well, we have been getting a lot of rain, so I haven't had to. When should I prune roses? Roses are best pruned in the spring. That's when I prune my roses, in the spring, because you want to give them as much stem, and just mulch them up really good so that they can last the winter. And then in the springtime is the best time to prune after they start to bud out, because you want to see where the buds are. And then you can just cut out all the dead wood and trim it back so that it'll branch out nicely. So that's really the best time to prune roses, is in the springtime. Water the garden. Yeah, some things still need watering. Like for example, it hasn't rained for a little bit now, so that I needed to check my pots, and some of the plants, they still need watering. Um, but hopefully, with the snow and everything, that 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 wouldn't be necessary. But it depends on your part of the country or the world that you might want to still water. Thank you. I was getting ready to cut them back. Yeah, no, don't cut them back just yet. Cut them in the spring. Cut them back in the spring. Raking leaves off the grass, and that's the last thing that I have here, is to rake the leaves off the grass. If you want your grass to grow and maintain it, then you don't want the wet leaves. My roses are still blooming. Yes, Sonia, that's wonderful. Yes, I have my roses are still blooming now too. For them, it's almost like June. Right now, early spring, this late fall, they love the cooler temperatures. So you might get some blooms, especially my knockout roses. I have a knockout rose back here that's bloomed and given me some really pretty flowers. Um, so don't cut them back yet, and enjoy the blooms. And yeah, so that's it. The 7 gardening activities to make your garden shine next spring. These are the things that we need to get busy with. And I will be doing videos on this. I never take my leaves and my grass grows back every year. They do? Oh, well, good for you. Good for you. For us, it gets matted down, and then if we don't, if we leave it on there, it gets matted down, and the grass isn't able to breathe. But and so then we end up having to reseed. So we do rake. I do rake off. My husband actually, he does a lot of it. I go out and try to help him, because we have a lot of trees around, and especially oak trees, and their leaves are very heavy. Have you ever used the rose petal in make rose oil? No, no pebbles. I haven't. I wanted to make potpourri at one time, and I had gathered a lot of the rose petals and tried to dry them out and make potpourri, make some kind of potpourri with it. But I've never tried to make rose oil. The other thing is that I bought a Rosa rugosa, white Rosa rugosa plant, because it's supposed to have really nice red rose hips. And I was supposed to save the rose hips so that I can make rose tea, make tea with it. And there's so many things I want to do. Oh, potpourri is nice. Yes, thank you. But rose tea hips, I wanted to do that with the rose hips. Um, But yeah, roses are so good. I just love roses, and that's something I want to continue to add to my garden. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much it. Fall annuals and container checklist. To empty the container, just stay busy. I know that it's hard, and um, at this time too, because you want to hold on to everything. At least I do. I love being in the garden. I love seeing the plants, and when we start to clean up and cut back, then the activity slows down. Rose hips are medicinal. Yes, they are full of vitamin C. Hmm. So I just want to keep on inspiring you to continue to work in your garden, continue to enjoy it. I'm harvesting lavender with can. I do. What can I do with it? You're harvesting lavender. Oh, well, Pebbles is an herbalist. And Pebbles, what do you think she can do with the lavender? I have lavender too. With lavender, you can make lavender tea, but also you can use the lavender oils. You can make um, lavender. They have those little sachets. You can crumple up the leaves and make a sachet and put it in your, like in your drawers, in the your dresser drawers, and it'll help to perfume your clothes. Lavender oil, lavender soap. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, lavender is good. And the leaves, I find not just the flowers, but also the leaves are really good. There's so much to learn with that. Maybe next year. Nice. Yeah. Maybe next year we can, now that I put together the herbal tea area, I've grown some of it. Now it's time to figure out new ways to sachets and put them under your pillow. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, Pebbles is our herbalist. She has she has some really great ideas. And you make oils and ointments, right? Yeah, lavender and witch hazel for a room spray. Wow. Yeah. Great. Yes. Excuse me. So there are wonderful things you can do with lavender. Yes. There was something else that you talked to. Yes, she has great ideas for that. And you know who else does too? I think Kiki has been doing a lot with that as well. But there are a lot. And you know who else? Sandria. Sandria, she has the Royal Bath soap. Um, she does a lot of oils and things, creating soap and balms and rose oil and things like that. So check her out, Sandria. She comes on a couple of times here with us. It's a beautiful nest, YouTube. I think that's her YouTube channel, A Beautiful Nest. And she is a wonderful young lady. She's from Georgia. I think she's in Georgia. Yeah. Million tea is great for getting rid of mucus. Million tea. I don't know what that is. But anyway, my wonderful people, as you can tell, it's getting dark out here. And we are losing the light. So I'm going to have to say goodbye. But thank you so much to each and every one of you for coming and joining me here at Catherine's Garden and Home. You see how dark it is? All of a sudden, the sun has set and it's dusk. One last question for the night. What can I do with pineapple sage? Pineapple sage, it's a good tea. I would make tea with it. And also for cooking. Love you all. Till next time. Thank you, Pebbles, for coming and joining us. Yes, you all are good. Let's grow, grow, grow together in Catherine's Garden at Home. Come on and grow, 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 grow together. Yeah, look at that. Well, have a wonderful evening and a wonderful night, and continue to think about and dream. Write down your notes, and we will continue to think about, Deborah, what we can do with this, with our herbal things. Now you're making me think about, well, when I start to harvest what I have left there, what we can do with our herbs. Because I have lavender, I have rosemary, I have thyme still in the garden there, sage. Yes, have a blessed evening, everyone. Yes. Have a good evening, Miss Catherine, and all nighty nighty. Yes, Garden Army. Hi, Rambo! Had to come and show love. Hello, chat. We're about to end because catnip. Yes, catnip's good too. Rambo, we're about to end. Do you see I'm in the dark? It is now dark out. So I'm going to have to start earlier at 5 o'clock. Um, but I'm glad you were able to stop in. Lemon balm, I have that. Put those herbs in your bath. Okay. Howdy, Rambo. Yes, so I'm glad you're here. We're going to have to say good night. Nighty night. It's dark. Wow. Yes, yes. At 5, what is it, 6 o'clock now? What time is it? It's been an hour, almost 5:51. 51 minutes we've been on. So, Miss Catherine, you have to come in early next week. Yes, I'm going to come on early next week. So I'm going to start at 5 o'clock. Need to get some lemon 101. What is that? 612. It's 612. Okay. 6:15. All right. Yeah, it's gotten dark really quick here. So, and I started at 5:30 because usually we go to about 6:30, and it's dark out here. Soon you're not gonna see me at all. We're in the dark. Lemon balm is wonderful. I make lemon balm with teas. Lemon balm, I have a lot of lemon balm, and I use that for tea. And lemon verbena, it's really good for you, good for digestion, and it smells good. It's very calming to the nerves. So drink your lemon balm. Lemon balm is relaxing. Yes, it is. It's really good. Um, it's 11:13 over there. Yeah, Rambo is in the UK. So when he comes to join us, it's nighttime. So we're all going to be going to sleep. We're experiencing the dark too. Catnip too? Yeah, I didn't grow catnip in my garden. Yeah, well, as I said, it's getting darker. But thank you all for coming and joining me here. And we will start earlier. So I believe that we'll start around 5. Or I'll just, when it's really cold, I'll be inside. So um, it will be fine there. But you grew it for your cat. Yeah, the catnip. The cats love catnip. Bye, my sweets. Bye. Thank you so much for visiting with me. And watch my previous videos. If you haven't subscribed, if you're new and you're watching, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to Catherine's Garden and Home. Share the videos with your friends because I'm trying to grow the channel. So if you know people who are interested in it, you can share it on your Facebook and share the videos. Didn't want to miss your live. Thank you, Rambo. You're such a trooper. I really appreciate you. And so, yeah, don't forget to give the thumbs up. And also, let's grow the channel. I'm just so happy that I can come out and share with you all what little knowledge I have, but that we can grow together. And Sonia, you're a doll. I thank you so much for your support and everyone else that has come on. Kimmy, thank you so much. Everyone, you're all so lovely. Pebbles, is so good to have you in the chat. You can help to inform us about the herbs. So make sure you come back. Sending virtual hugs to all. Yes. I love you all. I love you all. It's such a nice, warm feeling. Thank you. Have a wonderful night. You can hardly see me, huh? Bye, my sweets. Bye. And see you next time right here at Catherine's Garden and Home. Yes, where we grow, 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 grow together. Bye. Bye, Kimmy. Bye, Pebbles. Bye, Deborah. Bye, Rambo. Bye, Sonia. Bye, Deborah. Bye, Gardens Are Me. Bye. Bye, everybody. Have a good night. And if I missed you, um, it's not because I meant to. You're amazing, Miss Catherine. Thank you, sweetness. Bye.